Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of my development diary for the game Stormbreak. In this episode, this week, I will be actually showing off something of the gameplay, rather than just me building something. Now there are two things that I want to show off in this episode. One of them has to do with how the battles are initiated, and another thing is how the inventory system, or the equipment system works in this game. Now, as you can see, I'm wandering around on the field map with my hero Ambrose here. Now, keep in mind that most of these graphics are still just placeholders from some of those Pioneer Valley content packs. I'm going to replace a lot of those for the important characters. Some of the lesser, not so important characters are going to remain with the placeholders. But for now, these are what they look like. Now, we can see I'm on the field, and there is something wandering around down there. It's a swamp beast, and that is one of the enemies. So, you can see that I'm not going to be having the random encounters that are common with older style Japanese-ish role-playing games. All the enemies are going to be on the field, running up. I mean, you can try getting away from it if you want. Not really going to be too easy. They run at about the same speed. I'm going to be tweaking that around a little bit. Try and get it so maybe you can get away a little bit easier. We're moving a little faster than that. Maybe that's not too bad. But if they touch you, you can get into the fight. So let's kill this thing real quick. And, dead. The enemies aren't scaled very well. Now, what happened there at the end was it released its soul. Now, the way I see it is in this game, part of the storyline involves the entire world being devastated by a number of natural disasters. And the way I see it, in that kind of situation, whatever kind of currency system existed in the world wouldn't really make any sense. Nobody would be exchanging gold for anything, because gold, you can't eat gold, you can't make weapons or tools out of gold. Gold is pretty much useless in that kind of situation. So it doesn't really make any sense for somebody to be exchanging that, and any type of made-up currency doesn't make any sense either, because, ooh, all these gil I have, what's that going to be doing? But anyway, so I decided to create something that has some sort of utility value for these people, and as part of the game's storyline exists the concept that people broker and trade in the souls of things. Like the soul of the swamp monster that I just killed is of value to somebody because it can be used for various purposes, either enchanting weapons, or it can be used as sort of like a power source for heating lamps or whatever. So when we defeated the thing, you notice it said we had gotten 5 soul points, a little bit of a glitch in the text there, but you can take those soul points and you can exchange them as though it's kind of money. But this also awards me another opportunity to revamp the way that we do our equipment system. When that monster died, it left this crystal behind, and this is another placeholder graphic. It will not look like this in the final game. When we go and collect that item, and you will have to collect it or you will not receive it, gain the Miner's Soul of Defense. And it disappears. Now that is essentially a piece of armor. Soul of Defense increases your defense, as you would expect. I already have a Soul of Strength on there, and that's how you gain new pieces of equipment for your characters. You don't really have different pieces of armor or different weapons that you equip throughout the game. The armor and the weapons that your characters start with are the armor and weapons that the characters have at the end of the game, just the way it's going to be. And you swap out the various souls in order to equip your characters with new stuff. Now, just because I received a soul from that monster doesn't mean that's always going to happen. Here's another swamp monster that I have here. We'll kill that thing real quick. Now, no, it says 5 soul value found. That's not going to be there's no space there, and I'm going to change the name a little bit by the final game. Now this one left nothing behind. Not every soul, every monster you kill is going to give off a soul that you can use to equip. And oftentimes the ones you get are going to be sort of junk. Like, for example, let's take a look. We have, say, The Soul of Strength, obviously, for increasing your strength. The Soul of Defense. The H is there's no H on strength. Soul of Defense, increasing defense. Soul of Spirit, and that's going to be for like magical attacks. Now, obviously, not every character is going to have the use of magic, so that kind of thing isn't really going to be any use for a character like Ambrose. And I had the last one, I haven't come up with the name for that yet. And this will be not every item is going to be useful to every character. Like, we may come up with a Soul of Spirit while we're playing as just Ambrose. Now, you could save that for another character, or you could take it to a shop and sell that soul in exchange for like potions or whatever the hell you feel like picking up, all that kind of stuff. Also, a lot of the souls you're going to get are like the minor Soul of Strength and the minor Soul of Defense, things that you can equip if you really have no other option, and that's what I have for this character here. But when it comes to later on in the game, you're going to be coming up with more powerful souls like the Lesser Soul and all that kind of stuff. Kind of Elder Scrollsy there, and you'll like oftentimes get weaker souls that you won't really have any use for, so you could trade them in. Also, most bosses are going to end up dropping more powerful souls that you can be able to equip on. You'll be more likely to equip. Now, the thing is, the bosses will drop the more powerful ones, and you're going to end up holding on to those for quite a while, but eventually they will be outclassed by the stuff that's even dropped by regular enemies, as you would kind of expect. Also, any type of soul can be equipped on any character you want. It's just you're going to have to make a decision on who you feel deserves to get X specific soul and all of that. Also, with the way and you can't just simply swap the souls off of a character for the sake of sticking him on another one, because the game progresses at a very plot-oriented progression. Like, you're always going to find yourself in this situation where you're not able to simply swap out a character if you want, because this character has the better armor or the better weapon or the higher strength or whatever. If the plot demands that a specific character is in the party at that one time, then that's who you're going to be stuck with. So you're going to be dissuaded from simply keeping a small number of very powerful souls and swapping them between characters as you see fit, because that character is simply not going to be there. They may be miles away at that point in the story, and you won't have access to their inventory. So you have to make a decision on who gets the best equipment, and obviously that decision can be made for you in the sense that a character who's basically a physical attacker is not going to be using a magic-oriented piece of equipment. So, boom, that will be the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope to have another one up by this time next week.